Um, hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. Now, I was going to watch the show, take notes, and just keep glancing back and forth in my notes, but the most just happened, and it was just the first scene, and my head is busting wide open. My tooth is killing me, and it's all on this same side. So the most literally just happened. Like normally when my nerves are tore down, like out of nowhere, unexpectedly, things like this happen to me. So, I'm just letting y'all know right now that probably from here on out, I will be doing my live reaction, no notes. I'm just gonna probably pause and play, record, whatever, because the most just happened. So let me go ahead and get on with this recap because the most just happened, like I said. So y'all know Dre is in a safe house and they're about to move him. So they got everybody there. This is the next day. They packing him up so he can leave, trying to get him to move now. So his daughter is crying, and he was like, all right, now we got to get on out of here. You're gonna have to testify today. So he was like, man, I can't think about that right now. My daughter, like, she's been like this all night. The girl was crying down. And so I'm like, okay, first of all, I understand it's a TV show, but I'm just saying, he over here, you supposed to be the daddy, first of all. Usually your daughter is here for you. Normally you can calm down enough to where she doesn't sense what you are going through and you project that onto her. Okay, so for some reason he's not understanding that that's what the problem is. So for the sake of what just happened in this episode, I'm gonna put some respect on this man's name and say what his name is on the show. So Jerry Donovan, who I referred to last time, is what, the last black man standing. Yeah, he was talking to him, and then when he said that to Dre, Dre said that to him rather. He was like, "Man, you ain't holding her right." That's why he took the baby from him, and as soon as he got the child, she calmed down. He was like, "She been like that all night," and he was not able to. I was like, he was like, first of all, you ain't holding the right. So I was like, why don't you know that your energy is all the way off? So that's why your child is behaving in this manner. Like all night, she just been crying, 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 crying. And, he actually was speaking, some real stuff to him. He was like, is a formula different? Like, what, I was like, okay, you better know that. But anyway, y'all, it just got to a point where it's like, look, we got to move now. You got to testify now. So they are prepared to leave the house and they are walking. I don't think they got a good 5 to 10 steps in yet when they see the like shadow of this person in a door. And I was like, all right, y'all doing the most outside. And so both of them automatically knew, like, all right, the most going on. And so Jerry radios to this guy who's supposed to be like outside apparently, protecting the perimeter. And, asked him what was his location. He didn't say nothing. All you get is radio silence. Y'all, the people that bust in the house start shooting it up. Talking about shooting up the club. They shot up the house. Something terrible. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, Lord, please. And then the music they play, I was like, this child finna get killed. Is this child finna get killed? Don't do this. Do not kill no more children on this show. Please don't do this. Because I ain't gonna be able to take it no more. So they start shooting. A lot of the good guys get killed. Jerry starts setting it off. Whenever he has a shot, he's shooting people. So then at one point, he gets shot in the shoulder. At first, I didn't know where he got shot because I'm like, wait a minute, please tell me that this child didn't get shot, because at this point, he's still holding the child. He done got shot in the shoulder. He's still, trying to do what he got to do. Dre the whole time sitting up here, like, give me my baby, give me my baby. Keep motioning him. He looking like, I wanted to say, don't you see this man trying to protect your child and protect you at the same time? He had a whole child, and she ain't no baby no more, Leo. I always say baby. Like, I had kids on my caseload who were bigger than me, and I'm saying that meaning exactly what I'm saying. Like, they were bigger than me, and I called them babies because they were definitely underaged. But yeah, the child, it was a pretty nice sized child. He had that child in his arms. He was wielding a gun. He was covering, trying to protect her and him at the same time. So it gets to the point that everybody is down except for Dre and Jerry. So they end up being able to finally move to another room. It seems like it's clear. But then, he's trying to figure out what's going on. Some dude come from outside and he's going through actually shooting the other people who are still alive. Jerry gets the idea to throw his wallet out there, make some noise. He come over to his area and he ends up killing him. So, he was like, man, I don't know what's going on, but you need to take her and get in the tub and have some cover. So instead of him doing that, he over here, going to get one of the guns. He was like, man, you don't need to do that. We done done too much to protect you. We got you this far. So Dre gonna try to go off. And he was like, no offense, man, but if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be going through. He was like, we are here because of you. And I'm like, bruh, you had the nerve, y'all, to make this long story short. This fool killed Jerry. Killed him. And I was like, what? Like, y'all, I really had to I've been sitting here about 30 minutes. I had not even continued on because this is too much and I'm tired. But I'm going to continue because I'm trying to finish this video. And I done got tired in my spirit. And I done told y'all my head started busting wide open. And a nerve in one of my teeth just started like radiating this crazy amount of pain. So anyway, back to this show. So Proctor's ex-wife is trying to act as if she is scared about what can come back on her after she has planted this bug on her child's book bag. She sat up here and brought the little trinket keychain, book bag keychain to Saks. And so she was like, if this comes back on us, I went to law school, this is illegal. And so he was like, you ain't got to worry about that. That's going to come back on us. And I'm like, how you going to promise her that when every time you promise somebody something, almost every time, it don't work out? You are not reliable. You ain't going to be able to do nothing. I ain't got time for that. I would not listen to nothing he had to say. I'm sorry. So Dre was being dumb and he thought that he was going to be able to put on a pair of shades and be out with his baby in public. Like, I don't know if he had a bus station, a train station, an airport, wherever, a mall. I don't know where he at because I ain't from New York. I don't know what that is. But they were in this crowded place, a lot of hustle and bustle going on. And all of a sudden, of course, DEA or whoever it was rolled up and they announced his name. They ended up arresting him and took the baby. So I'm like, you dumb. I don't know why you thought you was going to be able to get far. You wouldn't get far. I don't know why he thought he was going somewhere. I was tired in my spirit. If you don't get somewhere, sit down. So Sachs goes, I guess because his boss summoned him to the office and he ended up swiveling over his, tablet or whatever screen that he had it up on and showing that Jerry Donovan is now dead. He's like, he's dead? He was like, yeah, he's dead. And, trying to figure out what's going on because every time you look up, like I said before, people don't fare well when they have a hand in anything dealing with him. So, he was like, well, who else knew about the safe house? And he was like, well, I just found out about it the other day. And, he was like, well, you better get to learning about what happened. I was just like, oh, gosh. So they were looking like, look, he sat up here, he got killed because of Dre of all people. Like, everybody is tired. I'd be tired, too. I would have to go somewhere. He might need to go ahead and go. Like that black woman told him. She told him to get while the getting was good, but he's still trying to hang in there because as of right now, he's like over the task force. But as you see, ain't nothing popping off right now. They ain't doing nothing. He ain't making nothing shake. He ain't making nothing move. So anyway, he is now gone to meet up with Dre and talk to him because if they don't get him to testify, Alicia Jimenez is going to walk. And I think that she was the woman. It was the brother-sister situation. And yeah, she gonna get to walk if he does not testify. Okay, so Sax is talking to Dre, and of course Dre is in his feelings, and he actually sitting up there trying to play victim like, what do you mean what happened this morning? Y'all was supposed to be protecting me. That's what happened. Oh my gosh, like he really turned on victim like out of nowhere. And I was just like, sir, if you don't get Sit down. So anyway, he was like, I ain't doing it. Somebody he ain't gonna testify. Sax was like, yeah, you gonna testify. And so Dre gonna try to make his plead his little case to myself. Do you think that it's gonna stop them wherever you put me? It ain't gonna stop Alicia Jimenez from getting to me. Wherever you put me in Nebraska, anywhere. I'm a light skinned man, is what I'm gonna say, from New York. And that's tatted up. He gonna stick out like a sore thumb no matter where they put him. So he was just like, it's not here for nothing. And they were like, yeah, you still gonna testify. We don't care what you're talking about. Y'all, so anyway, tell me why. I was like, excuse me, wait a minute. Early on this Sunday morning. So Councilman Tate, Councilman Tate is it councilman or governor now? Well, anyway, Tate, y'all know. He is in the middle of having sex with someone, giving a dissertation, dictations. I'm trying to do the most, but it ain't working. But anyway, he is doing the most. So then his phone rings and he's like, I gotta answer it. I've been waiting on this phone call. And the woman was like, well, answer it. So she tried to throw it back on him, bust it wide open and tell him bring it back, all of that, doing the most while he on the phone. And then she's like making noises and he got to tell her to shush. And he ended up just being like, let me get on away from you because you're doing the most. So then she gets in front of him and start doing the most. And like, she starts feeling her own self to the point where she like had to be like, it's like, girl, you're doing too much. So then he basically, hinted to her that she needed to give him some things, show him what that mouth do. That's what I want to say. And I don't even know why he said that because he really couldn't handle anything himself after that. And he was still on the phone with somebody. So yeah, they doing the most today. Okay, y'all. So, Tate, went into work, of course, happy as I don't know what, because he just had all kinds of sex doing the most early in the morning. And after he had made this little announcement that seemed very positive and promising, this woman named Ramona Garrity, I think is what her name is, stepped in the boom. Guess who stepped in the room? And she stepped right in and she just started naming off a list of people who were all, at the campaign office. And she was like, if I said your name, thank you for your services. The Democratic National Convention or whatever, thanks you for your services. Your services are no longer needed. Hey, everybody trying to figure out what in the world going on right here. Like, what is going on? You're doing too much. So I can't. Tommy is set up here and he's gotten a new car and he brought Keisha to the place, the warehouse where he keeps all his drugs and money before it's gonna get washed and all that. So when she pull up out the car, she's looking good. I ain't gonna lie about that, but I'm just like, girl, you ain't gonna make it. Why are you bringing her, sir? Why did you bring her there? She's not gonna make it. So anyway, all the guys are like living for her, of course, and I just can't. I'm just like, why are you being this dumb and bringing her here? And, I guess he's trying to show like, oh, well, if you say you down, okay, I'll bring you around and let you see everything. Let you see everything I see. Let you see how I move. Let you see what I'm doing. All of that. And I'm just like, this is stupid, but okay. So Stacks has met up with Alicia Jimenez and her lawyer and letting her know that, despite her efforts to shut Dre up, he's still alive. He's still going to testify. And so it's funny because she was like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. And he actually showed evidence of all these people who had gotten killed that day. And, he was like, well, instead of the time that you were going to face, you're looking at, the needle, execution and all that good stuff. And so she was like, I still don't know what you're talking about. And it's crazy because she actually stated the part of town that they had Dre living in. And I was like, girl. But at the same time, it doesn't matter because they still don't have evidence that she is the one who put the hit out or sent anybody there, all that stuff. They still don't have really anything outside of the testimony that they are hoping that they're going to be able to get from Dre. So I'm like, whew, everything rests on him, but I don't know how that's going to work out. He might not live to see that day. Okay, y'all. So Jamie popped up on Rashad Tate, wanted to know what's going on with the Queen's Child Project, because he was like, look, all this stuff was supposed to start up this morning. I rolled by, wasn't no dumpster, wasn't no bulldozer, wasn't no nothing going on out there. So what's the problem? What's the holdup? So he was like, look, some things going on, and ultimately we're going to need some more private equity. We're going to need something because we don't have the funds to allocate it. So that's going to be on hold for right now. And he looking like, oh, I understand. Like, this don't make no sense. Didn't y'all already approve phase one? He was like, yeah, but at this point now, they didn't kind of put everything on a hold. It's on hold. Ain't nothing y'all can do about that right now. So you just got to do what you can do. Deal with it for now, because it ain't finna work right now. So you just going to have to hold your breath and hope it work. I don't know. He is very upset. You can tell he's very upset. Ain't nothing going on. So, oh well. Tommy met up with Tasha, and they're out somewhere talking, like by a river, I guess. And, he's having problems because he has nowhere to wash his money. He was using the club before, so now he has nothing. And Tasha was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And the only thing that I could think of before was you doing it through the salon. And so it's not going to happen, because before, when they were doing that, Tasha was involved. And he was like, well, she gonna have to get over that. And so she was just like, look, that ain't finna happen, because she ended with you now, not me. And she ain't been returning my phone calls. She ain't here for me, so it ain't gonna work. And she looking like, I got problems of my own. I got some money from Ghost, but I ain't got no money like that. And I just got all these issues going on right now. I'm gonna have to get a job. I bust out laughing like, girl, all this time you ain't had to worry, and now you looking like, I'm gonna have to get a job. Like, that is the worst thing in the world. Anyway, I was just like, dang, y'all done went off. Then Jason ends up texting him, telling him to get over there right now. He looking like, I ain't got a payment due yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So Tariq is at school counting up money. And apparently his roommate and old girl Effie both ran out of pills. And so he was like, well, when I go home, I'm going to have to get the re-up then. And so Effie had the nerve to ask who was the connect. What? Who just be like, oh, who you get your pills from? Who you get all your drugs from? What? What in the world, girl? If you don't get somewhere to sit down. But they in there flashing their money and all that other stuff. And so she ain't really here for that at the moment. And she was just like, I don't understand. And so he was kind of shocked that they were out. And he was like, well, people need a lot of Adderall and all this stuff around this time. It's like some kind of test. I don't know if it's midterms or finals or what, but a lot of people want them drugs, and they have been buying it up, and everybody out. So he gonna have to go home and get some drugs. Y'all, so Jason wanted to meet up with Tommy because some things gonna go down if I guess everything doesn't go the way it's supposed to go at trial. So in all actuality, he ended up calling in Ghost as well and was telling him, I need both of y'all. And this wasn't at the same time. He was talking to Tommy first, then he was talking to Ghost. But the goal is to bring her to Jason alive. Because, all of his stuff dealing with his connections to get the drugs in through Los Angeles or wherever he gets and brings the drugs in through, it's going to be messed up if things go sideways with her. So he gonna tell Ghost that if he can get this and pull it off, that he's gonna, kind of waive a big whopping one payment that he owes him. I was like, what that supposed to do when you want $200,000 every month? Oh my gosh, I was so tired of my spirit. Like, Jason is really trying it. Like, I would be done. Like, he gotta die. He really gotta go. Okay, so Tasha dropped her child off, the youngest one. I guess I don't know if it's Yasmin or if it's just gas. But finally have a name. I ain't heard that child's name in I don't know how long. But anyway, she went to pick her up. She was like, Mom, I'm sorry I'm late. You know, I just been going through a lot. I got a lot of stuff going on. And of course, since she was with Tommy, they were actually smoking weed and it was very strong. So yeah, her mama smelled it on her and read her a little bit about that. So then she went on ahead, let her pick her up, and there were other children there. And so she was like, what's going on here? She was like, well, you know, these people, or she herself forgot that she was babysitting her own grandchild and, you know, other people were there. So whatever. So then when Tasha was about to leave, it's funny, her child put on her coat and told her that she smelled funny. But when she was about to leave, one of the mamas came and gave her some cash because she was babysitting. And it looked like Tasha had an idea, like maybe that's how I can make my hustle by doing that, or somehow maybe funneling money through her mama's house, or I don't know. Kind of thinking maybe that's how she gonna make her hustle now, since she ain't got, you know, no money coming in on her own. Maybe she gonna try to do some babysitting too. I don't know. We'll see how that go. So Tariq is home out of nowhere, trying to make his mama believe that he was worried about her and his sister. And so she was like, well, that was sweet for you to come and check up on us, but I ain't got everything ready with the place or whatever. So then eventually he was like, you know, where's my room? And so she was like, well, you can stay in Yaz's room until I get everything set up. And it's going to take a while because money is short. He going to say, well, you know, her bed too small. And so she was like, okay, well, I'll get an air mattress. And he was like, those things deflate. Then she was like, well, there's the couch. So he was like, couch? Like, every time she said anything, he said it all the way off. And then it just went back and forth. I was like, oh my gosh. Y'all, it got to the point where eventually Ghost showed up. That Ghost is supposed to watch Yaz this weekend, be with her, spend time with her, all that stuff. It's his weekend to watch her. And she had some stuff that she was going to try to do anyway. So he came all the way over there just to tell her that he's not going to be able to watch her this weekend. So she was like, what? You came all the way over here just to say you weren't going to watch her? Like, this don't make no sense. And then, you know, she got frustrated and she was like, well, you need to take your son back with you. Because he was like, oh, what are you doing here? You ain't need to tell me your son was in town. And I was like, Lord, y'all, everybody doing too much. So Yaz ended up, you know, greeting her daddy. Of course, she still live for him and she young and she don't know what's going on. And so he was like, why don't you go in the back and play with that new toy I just got you? And so went on by her business. And so him and Tasha got into it immediately, cussing each other out, went off, all this. And so she was like, you know what, since you and your son don't like my accommodations, he need to go back with you with the penthouse because I ain't got time for this. And she went on by her business. So Sax is in his office and Blanca Rodriguez comes in and, you know, they're working together. They got to work right, you know, together right now because of them being on the task force together. And so trying to get some information. And she was like, you know, she was sorry to hear about old boy getting killed. And, you know, it's just a lot going on. And so Sax still believes wholeheartedly that Ghost is behind Angela's murder. And then they get to talking and it was like, well, it seems like everybody's in this together. Like, is that the case? And so he was like, no, that can't be, you know, that can't be the case. And like, he is dead set against anything coming out being the case outside of Ghost being the one who's behind everything. And I'm just like, I'm gonna need you to just get over that because he has his moments, but this is one of the few times that he actually is innocent. So they're going to have to get, Dre up on the stand to see what he going to do because everything is going to point towards Alicia Jimenez and all this stuff going on. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get him up on the stand. And like I said earlier, I don't know if he's going to make it. So the next day is here and Tariq is at his daddy's house eating breakfast. And he about to leave. So he was like, well, I ain't got time to take you back to Cho, but I can drop you off at the train station. She was like, well, no, I'll just finish my cereal and I'll, you know, get out of here and go and do what I'm going to do on my own. And so he was like, well, you know, I told you that your Uncle Tommy was dead, but he's not. So then he gonna try to act like he didn't know and act like he was shocked. And I'm like, dang, that's crazy. Ghost know his child. So he looked at him and he was like, How long have you known? How long have you known that he was alive? And don't you lie to me. He never said how long he's known or if he ever knew and all that stuff, but he was like, this don't make no sense. I ain't got nobody, I ain't got number one son, and everything I have, I'm supposed to be passing it down to you. So I need to be able to trust you. He was like, okay, you can trust me. And then he gonna give him a fake hug and smirk behind his back and then look like a normal person when he get back in his face. Then when he left, he threw that stuff on down and went on by his business and went and found his stash of pills. And then when he closed the little door where he had it hidden at, there was a picture of Raina. So I was like, oh gosh. So Ghost calls Proctor over and he wants to discuss some things with him. Like he needs to know where exactly Alicia Jimenez is going to be because they need to, he ain't really trying to give him no information. They looking at him like, whoa, wait a minute, what is going on? What you need this information for? Like, you going a little bit too far. And so he's like, basically, if you don't give me what I want, then don't even bother coming back. And y'all don't know how Ghost do. When Ghost is really like doing the absolute most, he will go off the deep end because he has things that he needs to do. And I'm just like, it's all about you. It's all about you. And I mean, I get it, but at the same time, don't sit up here and drag other people in and then get mad when you are putting their livelihood at stake because you got some foolishness going on. Like, stop. So, just like I thought earlier, Tasha ends up talking to her mama later on, and she was like, yeah, so when did you start babysitting? And so she was like, it ain't been that long. And she was like, why? She was like, well, what do you think about, she was like, well, what do you, what do you do when somebody gets hurt? A child might get hurt or something. She was like, well, take them to the hospital or whatever. So she was like, what if you ain't got the money for that? And you're supposed to have a license to run a daycare and all this other stuff. So she was like, okay, I know I ain't got no money for all that. And so she was like, where am I gonna get that from? And so she was like, well, if you get a couple of more kids, we can afford to do that. And so she was like, what would be fun if we, got a building and got this off the ground. And she's looking at her like, what would be, what I would love. And she was like, well, if I could retire, because, she's at that age, she should be retired and not have to work. And she done read her. She was like, if you spent half the effort into actually doing what you need to do to fix your marriage, then we wouldn't have to be doing none of this. So Tariq is back at school with the little bit of product that he has, and Effie and his roommate looking at him like, what we gonna do with this? This is half of what you gave us last time. And so he was like, don't worry about it. I have some more for the end of this week. And he ended up calling the guy the N-word. And so he got all excited. He was like, look, this is the second time you called me that. Does that mean I get a chance to say it now? Like, he was just too excited. I'm like, why are you white and excited about the possibility of being able to say the N-word? I don't understand. Why do you think that would be cool or just something that's so amazing to do? Anyway, but they said absolutely not, and I'm glad because I was hoping that they weren't going to be a part of the group of people that thinks it's okay for people to say. I mean, I don't say it anymore. That's something I used to say, but I don't even say that anymore. So I'm not comfortable when people say that, especially if they are not black. So yeah. Tommy rolled up on Proctor at his house while his daughter was there. And he needed to talk to him, of course, because he needs information that Proctor would be able to get his hands on. So, like I said, I think I did, his daughter was there. And he sent his daughter away, but then she came back and got her book bag, which is what saved both of them. Because Tommy began to immediately ask him for information about Alicia Jimenez and all that good stuff. And then he was like, I don't have the information. And Tom was like, I'm gonna need for you to know that was me not asking you a question. This is what you're gonna do. So he said, I need a date, a time, the courtroom that she's gonna be in, the actual courthouse she's gonna be at, all of that. And I need it right now. So Proctor looking crazy. And I'm like, all you need to know is that you better be glad your daughter came back down them steps and brought her book bag up there with her, because y'all was all finna go down. Ghost and Ramona Garrity met up and they seem to be hitting it off well, and I kind of foresee them trying to be together a little bit or whatever, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be one-sided because Ghost, he has an agenda. She does too, but at the same time, she look like she here for him. So we'll see how that pan out. So back at school, Tariq, he's in his room with his roommate and some other people, and they're drinking. So then the door opens, and it's Effie. And she was like, oh, well, I guess I'll come back later. And then he was like, no. He ended up telling everybody to get out, like cussed them out a little bit, told them to get out. And he was like, what? This is my room too? He was like, no, you too. All y'all got to get out. So he was like, that's messed up. So, everybody got out though. So Effie came in there and I was like, okay, what they finna do? She had a chessboard and they were going to play chess. So they, had become fast friends, I suppose. And she was like, are you okay? What's going on? You've been a little bit more quiet than usual lately. And so he was like, I just been thinking. And eventually she opened up about the loss of her brother. And of course she heard about his loss of his twin sister because she read about it online. So they have a connection there. And he was like, I'm in my feelings, of course, because of that, but I ran out of pills. And the person who gave me the pills, they're dead too. So, she was like, well, But, I think they are going to end up being a thing. But I don't know if I'm going to be here for that or not. I've been wondering why he hasn't hit Tommy up. Because he is his uncle. And I feel as though he wouldn't mind giving him a little bit. There's a lot of money that he's making from that. So even if he were to be like, you need to give me a couple of dollars up off of what you getting because I'm giving you this product. He has so much product to move. Like he can do that. And he ain't even got to be out on the corner doing all this. He at the schoolhouse. Very safe. Ain't nothing going on. Like he would have that in the bag. And he would have some people who could run for him, be runners for him or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, I feel like he should go ahead and ask Tommy. I don't know what's stopping him and why he's never even thought of even asking Tommy. But then it's funny because the next scene pops up and it's Tommy. So Tommy is back at the warehouse and he's going over the plan or what they're going to do when they try to corner Alicia and, go ahead and kidnap her. And they get a snag in the plan when they need a female that's going to be able to be in the bathroom because that's going to be the only time that she's going to be alone. Any other time, they're going to have somebody watching her. So they're trying to figure out how they're going to pull that off because they already have everybody, they're going to be posted up in certain places. So then out of nowhere, here comes dumb Keisha and she didn't hear anything that was going on. And so she was looking like, what? And he was like, yeah, I think I just got an idea. So of course he's going to make her be the one who's doing that. And that's how dumb she is. So, Tate and Ramona, they are meeting up with Tasha. And of course, Councilman Tate is doing what he normally does. He wants to put on this act. And Tasha's like, there are no cameras around. You can drop the act. And, she is still, reeling from when he exploited Raina's funeral for his personal gain. And she was just like, I ain't never forget that. So I don't know why you're trying to play these games with me, whatever. So, she was like, why am I here? It must be something because you have her. I know who she is. She introduced herself. What is it? Ramona Garrity. I'm trying to get it right. Trying to get that last name right. But she was talking to her and, she was like, you look familiar. She introduced herself. And so they ended up telling her why she was there. Because, of course, every single time somebody wants Tasha involved, they need her to kind of make games. And she ain't here for that. But she was like, look, whatever we need to do, what is that we can do so that you can be, a team player. So she thought about it for a second and she was like, I need, to have my own independent stream of income coming in, my own business. I'm looking to open a business. I need certifications. I need all these permits to go through quickly, all this stuff. And if you can do that, then I'll be a team player. And so Tate was ready to be like, nah, we can't do all that. And Ramona was like, we'll do it. And then she shook on it. And so Tasha was like, I like you. I like you. So the plan is going according to the way it should. in favor of Tommy. Y'all gonna have to learn to put some respect on Tommy's name because Ghost be behind. He be behind. I'm sorry, he be behind every time I look up. He always be a step behind. So and it got to the courthouse. Ghost tried to sit up there and act like he was somebody who was gonna fix an elevator, and he had all these out of order signs and all this. So they had to take the stairs, whatever. So I'm like, you look like your normal self. Like, I don't know why you do this. Like, he literally looks like himself with just a hat on. I was like, why are you doing this? Anyway, we just gonna go ahead with the TV. The TV just gonna make us believe that somehow him having a hat on is somehow a disguise. Just like we supposed to just go along with, as we have our whole lives, with Clark Kent putting on glasses, and somehow he's looking completely different than how he looks without his glasses, when every single person I've ever seen play him looks exact same. Now me, a lot of people say I look completely different when I put my glasses on versus when I take them off, and I get that because I've been wearing them my whole life. I've been wearing glasses since I was like in kindergarten. So yeah, here we go. So I mean, I get it. I mean, but no, people like him, I'm just like, stop. I digress. I'm sorry to tear my nerves up when people do that. Anyway, Tommy's plan was, like I said, to have a woman on the inside because none of the men were going to be able to get close enough. So what they did was they actually had this guy who was playing like a bailiff or something, and his job was to administer Valium to water that was going to be given to her. So he put 2 cups on the table. Of course, the one that Alicia was supposed to sip from was going to have Valium in it. So for some reason, immediately she kind of chugged it down. And she was talking to a lawyer, and then she started to feel crazy. She started coughing everywhere. And before that even happened, they walked Dre in. And before they had a chance to turn him around, because everybody kept motioning to whoever to turn around and take him back out because she was in there, she turned around and saw him and did the most. Like, you could tell how intimidated he was just by seeing her. And I'm like, this ain't gonna work. He might just be like, I ain't testifying. Anyway, so like I said, she started coughing. And of course, they ended up taking her to the bathroom. So they had somebody to go in before her, check the bathroom, make sure everything was okay and nobody was in there. But they were so dumb that somebody put an out of order sign on one of the doors. And for some reason, this guy decided not to check that. That is dumb to me. That is dumb. Somebody can still be hiding in a stall. Like, why would you be like, oh, that's an out of order sign, let me not check that? That's dumb. Of course, Keisha was in there. She was in there on that stall. And I'm like, that's dumb to me. So anyway, they finally said it was clear, and they let Alicia come in there. She went to the stall next to where she was and started throwing up. So the next part of the plan was they were going to have people coming in there as if they were a part of the EMT services. And that was Spank and this other guy, of course, some of Tommy's people. And they were able to get her out of there on a stretcher, dressed as EMT personnel, and load her into an ambulance. Tommy was dressed as one of the people who would be driving, and he had on a full outfit as well. Now, when Tommy turned around, before Alicia's body, appeared from the inside the building, Ghost saw him because he was still in what he had on, and he had gotten into his vehicle. So he had his gun on his lap. And he looked like, oh, this is my opportunity to kill him. And then he looked a second more, and that's when he saw Alicia. So he was looking like, he saw Tasha. I want to say Tasha. He saw Keisha when she was leaving out of the bathroom. So I'm like, you dumb anyway. You already knew what it was when you saw her. So you should have gave up and went home way before that. So I'm just tired. It's just too much that went on. And the other guy, he ended up blocking the police in so they couldn't get out or follow them to the hospital, which they aren't going to, and all that good stuff because they're taking her to Jason. So anyway, Alicia starts coming to, and Jason is in some abandoned place. Like it's like an abandoned, if I had to guess, I would say it's some kind of parking lot. I don't know. Might have been like a storage. It looks kind of like a storage type place, like a really big storage place. I don't know. Anyway, took her there to get information out of her, and He was like, if you give me the information I want, I need names, dates, times, all this other stuff. And if you give me the information that I want, maybe I'll let you live long enough for the volume, whatever you want to call it, to get out of your system. So she sat there for a second and she was like, can I have a smoke? And so he was like, sure. So got one of his people to give us something, smoke on. Okay, y'all. So I'm tired of my spirit. So he's questioning her, and she was just like, yeah, go F yourself and all that. Like, she's not giving up any information. Like, she has been consistent, and that's what I'm talking about. You're gonna die anyway. So it's like, I don't understand why people do this on these TV shows and in these movies. If these people are telling you, once I get the information from you, I'm gonna kill you. Like, no matter what you do, I'm gonna kill you. So it's like, what's the point of giving information if you're gonna kill me anyway? You're gonna kill me, so what's the point? I stand to gain nothing from this, so what's the point? So I'm here for that. But yeah, she didn't give up no information, and Jason politely killed her. And so Tommy was in the shadows, and he came out. He was like, okay, I'm confused. You need to explain to me why you had me go through all this trouble to kidnap her if you were just going to kill her. And he was like, well, you can understand better than anybody else how you want to do something yourself. And so then Tommy, of course, Tommy be on it, y'all. I'm sorry. Tommy be on it. People be underestimating him. But at the same time, like I said, he said, so what was up with you telling Ghost to go and do the same thing too? Like, what was going on with that? So he was like, well, I knew that I could bank on one of y'all delivering, and I'm pleasantly surprised that you were the one who was able to deliver. And I was like, you tried it. Y'all be trying. People try Tommy. Tommy is very resourceful when he needs to be. Like, y'all be trying it. I can't. They gonna stop coming for Tommy like this. So anyway, Ghost, of course, immediately goes to Proctor and was like, what's up with that? Why you gave him all this information? What's going on? So he was like, Tommy rolled up on me. Like, what you thought I was gonna do? Y'all, I am so tired. They doing too much. I'm tired. Okay, so after he rolled up on Proctor and said all the stuff he said to him, he was just like, I don't understand why you did this. He was like, don't you understand that he killed somebody in front of me? Like, y'all are going to put some respect on Tommy's name. But anyway, he and his feelings, whatever. And I'm gonna need y'all to peep the shoes. I'm here for the shoes that Proctor had on. Yeah, like I'm not a sneakerhead, but I live for shoes. So yeah, them shoes was everything. I don't have the ankles and things for that, and I just feel my feet are too wide for those. But I like to see other people who can pull those off wear them. Anyway, that's beside the point. So he was like, well, I'm sorry. He was like, man, I told you. So while he was talking to him, Jason texted him and was like, yep, you didn't deliver and you need to pay up now. So now he got to roll up off his money, and he ain't got no money. He running out of money. He running out of options. And he was like, well, you already know what you need to do. So he had to call up Simon. So then, he was like, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while or whatever. So he was like, yeah, I need help. So he was like, I got you, for 3%. He was like, well, when I was doing it, 15%. Then he was like, white lives matter. I bust out laughing. I don't know why. I was just like, sir, what we not finna do is this. But he said, white lives matter, sir. Wait a minute, sir. This man that went off, and he was like, I think everything is gonna be great now, and we're gonna make great partners and all this other stuff, especially now since he has more ownership stake in Raina's legacy. Sir, what? These people have no couth. They have the audacity. They have the unmitigated gall. They just do not care. I was just like, everybody is a thug, a gangster, just a hood, just a disgrace. I cannot. They're doing too much. What about the children? How many times do I have to say this? What about the children? So Tommy met up with Keisha, and she's all psyched up because she couldn't believe that they were able to pull that off. And he boosted her head up to my, that was you, it was because of you. I was just like, ugh. All she did was walk in there and text you that she was in there and walk back out like, stop. I mean, that was a big part, but not really. She doing the most. Anyway, it's just too much. And, of course, he still has that issue with not being able to wash his money. And so he was like, I really need Tasha. And she was just like, nah, I'll do it myself. I know how to do it now. You can do it through my shop, through me, because I can do it. So he was like, okay, what? F that B, talking about Tasha. I'm like, you doing too much. So anyway, then we finally circle back to Dre, and they're talking to him, trying to figure out what's going on, and they let him know that old girl was killed. And so he thinking, I'm off the hook. But no, of course, Sax has something else up his sleeve because he needs Dre to help them to find who killed Angela. Of course, in his mind, that's Ghost. And so he tried to tell him that that's not fair, that ain't cool. And as an added bonus for Dre, he won't be able to leave with his daughter and all that good stuff. Like, he is definitely in his feelings because Heavenly, or whatever her name, Heaven, not going to be able to go with him. So, yeah, he's still up under their thumb because if Sax doesn't get their man, he loses his job. Just like, forgot her name all of a sudden, the black lady. Just like she lost her job. So, he ain't here for that. Y'all, I'm tired. So, for some dumb reason, Ghost still has Tommy's number and called him. Tommy still has his number saved in his phone as well. I don't understand that. Anyway, he answered the phone. He's like, what the F you doing calling me? So he's talking to him. He was like, look, I got one question. I just want to know why you and I were sent to do the same job by Jason and all this other stuff. So then, of course, he tries to say to him, we need to team up and kill him because it's apparent that he's lining his pockets. You know what I'm saying? Having us going toe to toe and all this and just, cut our losses and do that. And he looking at him like, I ain't trying to hear nothing you talking about. F you, your mama and your cousin too. He actually said a phrase I ain't heard nobody say in over 10, 15 years. He said, next time I see you, I'ma cancel Christmas on your A. I said, what? Wait a minute. If you ain't never heard that before, you'll be understanding all the sayings and stuff that I have heard people say in my life. That took me out. I literally have not heard that in forever. But that's how the episode ended.